guess what? Na'Vi won another tournament. I know, absolute shocker, isn't it? But while s1mple continues to absolutely boss it, there are other things to talk about here. The Blast Premier World Final also gave us some soon-to-be rebuilt teams playing out of their actual minds, as well as possibly one of the spiciest transfer rumours of the year that turned out not to be true at all. Let's get into it. Alright, before we get into today's video, Josh is going to share a few words now from our friends over at Predator Gaming.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Josh Burry from theScore esports, and this is my holiday gift guide. While it's important to always be comfortable when you're at your desk, there are only so many hours I can spend there before I need a change of scenery. But I don't want to sacrifice performance when I'm on the go. Thankfully, our friends at Predator Gaming have my back. Sporting an Intel 11th Gen H-Series Core i7 processor and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 Ti GPU, the Predator Triton 300 SE lets me play Final Fantasy XIV wherever I happen to be at that moment. You can find one of these bad boys at your local Best Buy.
So 2021 will be known as the year LANs returned to CSGO and also the year of Na'Vi, and the recent Blast Premier World Finals in Copenhagen was a fitting end to it all as the final tournament of the year. Just a week ago, we had the upper bracket quarterfinals where Na'Vi were shockingly knocked down into the lower bracket by Team Liquid.
Perfecto and s1mple, 2-on-4 to try and reclaim the round, and it looks absolutely impossible. Stewie is listening, calling it. Yep, they're both passed by. They know everything right now. Liquid coming out of nowhere with no one expecting any kind of a win, and they take down Na'Vi 16-7 and win the series. Absolutely spectacular work for Team Liquid.
I mean, this was surprising for two reasons. One, because Na'Vi have literally won every LAN event they've attended this year. But also, two, because Team Liquid weren't exactly going through the best time. They hadn't practiced together for a while, and there was a huge roster overhaul just on the horizon. With Stewie, Grim, and Fallen all rumoured to be leaving the team after this tournament, some people saw this tournament as a bit of a write-off for them. Elige and Naf were reported to be the only remaining members after this tournament. A few weeks before the tournament, Elige confirmed the rumours and also explained why the breakup was happening.
It's just pretty much because we knew that we're going to be making changes. It's not going to be like a roster that we're going to be sticking with, and the team doesn't really get along. And no, it's not just me against everyone. It is internally just everyone doesn't really get along that well.
It's also been reported by 1PV's Nell that in the absence of Stewie and co, Nitro, who was recently let go by 100 Thieves Valorant team, will be returning to his old team in CSGO. The same report also suggests that Shox will be leaving Vitality to also join Liquid. So the question is NA getting the band back together? Are the boys well and truly back in town? So yeah, pretty insane start to a tournament if you ask me. The favourites being knocked down to the lower bracket by a team that's literally breaking up, and in the words of one of their own players, doesn't really get along that well. Ouch. But I guess whatever the game or sport, sometimes the teams with nothing to lose pull off the greatest performances. The same thing kind of happened with Team Vitality at the tournament, who were also reported to be going through a major roster shuffle, but still managed to sweep both Astralis and G2 on their way to the upper bracket final. While Liquid did fall to Gambit in the next round, Na'Vi righted the ship on their lower bracket run, only dropping a single map as they climbed their way up to the grand final. There, they met Gambit, who immediately showed them on map 1 that they weren't f***ing around and beat the best team in the world on their own map pick. Ancient was map 2, and although it did feel closer down the stretch, Na'Vi answered quickly and took the map thanks to some ridiculous plays from Bit, who continues to show why he's basically baby s1mple.
We hit the close on the AK, good spray. Shiro Love to follow it up, but yep, he has the bomb. He drops it on the ground, which is probably good. Don't want to be giving too much information away. Vin is just doing all the work. He's just won the round on his own.
But it really felt like Na'Vi was saving the best till last, because map 3 saw them absolutely smash Gambit on Inferno. s1mple put on a masterclass to finish out what's been an incredible year for him and a team whose era we are now undisputedly living in. And while s1mple is rightfully dominating a lot of the conversation around Na'Vi, if you're a forward-thinking fan, you're probably thinking of Bit. After rising up the ranks in Na'Vi Junior last year, this homegrown wonder kid has done nothing but impress. His stats are off the chart, he's earned over $1 million this year, and he's still just 18 years old. He's also now 4 for 4 on LAN as a pro. Wow. It was a sick tournament that had a nice mix of the expected and the surprising. Na'Vi were definitely the favourites going into this, but how they got to the final was certainly surprising. And as usual with these kinds of tournaments, sometimes the biggest news comes right after they finish. Yesterday, a joint report by Dexerto and 1PV suggested that the Great Dane that is dev1ce is looking to once again don the Astralis jersey and return to his former team. Now, I'm sure I don't need to go into too much detail about how big of a deal this is. For a lot of CSGO fans, dev1ce and Astralis are still really linked in their minds. They just fit. The CSGO community was stirring after the report. That is until dev1ce himself weighed in on Twitter. Let's just jump back now and give some context to this whole thing. dev1ce had legendary success with Astralis for 5 years starting in 2016. On that legendary roster, he won 4 majors during that time and still shares the record with s1mple for the most HLTV MVPs. That era came to an end though in April this year when dev1ce announced he'd be leaving Astralis to join NiP for a rumoured price just shy of $1 million. At the time, dev1ce said that living in Sweden, speaking the language and finding NiP's project to be exciting were some of the reasons for the change. There was also a feeling among the community that after years of winning everything with Astralis, maybe he just wanted a change of scenery. But not everyone could have predicted that the biggest change would be just how little winning he would do for the remainder of this year. When dev1ce made the transfer to NiP, he said that he was excited to bring the PGL Stockholm trophy back to Sweden, but his team only managed a deflated 5th to 8th finish at that tournament. During Intel Extreme Masters Winter at the start of the month, dev1ce admitted on Twitter that he was going through a rough patch. The following week, he was subbed out for NiP's academy player FiZi after feeling unwell. This illness continued and NiP confirmed that dev1ce would not be attending Blast Premiere on doctor's orders. So people were wondering whether or not the rumours were true and why dev1ce had taken a step back from the team. Well, yesterday he set the record straight on Twitter. In a thread, he said, "My mental health has taken a hammering this year for both personal reasons and the pressure that comes with playing professional esports. NiP and my teammates have been very understanding in letting me work on my mental well-being for the end of the year. I have been taking active steps towards recovery and I'm looking forward to putting in the work that will enable me to get back to the top of my game and be the best version of myself. All of these nonsense reports on me leaving the team are exactly that, nonsense. When anyone is having issues surrounding the health of their mind, I believe that it's imperative they're given time and space to deal with them and not be bombarded with falsities." So after weeks of speculation, dev1ce has snuffed out the rumours of his return to Astralis and has shed some light on his current situation both professionally and personally. Listen, it's not all that often that pros talk so candidly like this, especially about their own mental health. And honestly, it's refreshing. Alright guys, that is most likely a wrap for us talking about CSGO for the remainder of 2021 here on Don't At Me, but hey, you never know. The last tournament might be over, but CSGO is always full of surprises. If there are, I'll see you soon, but if not, Happy New Year, and I'll see you all in 2022. Hello editor, how are you? Colten. How are you, Colten?
I'm doing good, Danny. Thanks for asking. And thanks for remembering my name.
So 2021 will be known as the year lands. Did I put the lands? Did you put the lands? The what? The lands before time? Same mug. Same mug. Same mug, different day, huh, bud? I'll see you up at the, I don't know where people meet in Northern Ontario. The town hall. I'll see you over there, bud. Same day, different shit, huh? You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.